Tonight, Belize under tighter control. A surge in violence pushes the government to impose a state of emergency across parts of Belize City. But is it a necessary move or a step too far? A deadly Mother's Day weekend leaves grief in its wake. A young man gunned down in Orange Walk, another community shaken. In the South, Maya leaders take their fight straight to the Prime Minister, warning that long-standing land disputes are reaching a breaking point. And the heat is on, not just outside, but inside the classroom, where soaring temperatures are disrupting learning for Belizean students. This is News 5, the stories that matter right now.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, May 11th. I am Sabrina Daly. Belize City residents woke up to a new reality on Saturday, one defined by curfews, checkpoints, and heightened police presence. After weeks of rising violence, the government has pulled the trigger on a state of emergency on the north and south sides of Belize City and parts of the Belize district. A wave of shootings, some retaliatory, has shaken communities, with even minors caught in the crossfire. Authorities say enough is enough. Now in force, Statutory Instrument 50 of 2026 gives police and BDF soldiers expanded powers. Expect tighter movement, more searches, and major changes to daily life in affected areas. So, what does this mean on the ground, and how are residents coping? Paul Lopez has that story.
Over the weekend, the government of Belize declared a state of emergency in Southside and Northside Belize City and certain parts of the Belize district. So, what does this mean for residents living in these areas? The state of emergency didn't come out of nowhere. It followed a violent chain reaction that spiraled in just days. On May 5th, well-known figures Hubert Baptist and Eric Fraser were ambushed by heavy gunfire along the Philip Coulson Highway. Both men survived. Days later, 29-year-old Jamal Samuels was killed in what police say was a retaliatory hit. Earlier that same evening, a 16-year-old walked into a bar in that same highway and gunned down a 34-year-old mother of three. And those are just a few of the recent cases. A steady drumbeat of shootings and murders has gripped Belize City in recent weeks, setting the stage for the government's drastic move. The state of emergency comes with tough new rules under Statutory Instrument 50 of 2026. In these zones, loitering is banned. Drinking in public is off limits, and gathering in groups of 3 or more is now illegal in public spaces. As for minors within the emergency zones, they must be inside their homes by 8 p.m. and remain there until 6 a.m. If a police officer stops you to ask a question, you must answer that question to the best of your ability and knowledge. Inside any emergency zone, police can search any home or property without a warrant. They can also stop and search vehicles, boats, or individuals if they suspect evidence of a crime. A police officer can also stop, detain, and search anyone. They can also confiscate any item they believe threatens public safety or order. Police are warning the public, if you interfere with any officer or use threatening or abusive language, you're committing an offense. And there's another key rule to note. If a female needs to be searched, that search must be carried out by a female officer. Police officers also have the authority to arrest without a warrant if they believe that a person's behavior goes against public safety or that the person has committed a crime or intends to commit a crime. They can also arrest without a warrant anyone who lives outside the emergency zone but frequents the area if they have similar beliefs. And once arrested, you can be held in custody for up to 30 days. Police and BDF officers also have the power to shut down any business or location if they believe it poses a threat to public safety. The Minister of Home Affairs now has sweeping authority under the state of emergency. He can order someone to stay confined to their home if he believes it will prevent a crime. He can also limit who that person contacts or meets and require them to report their movement to police. As the state of emergency kicks in, residents are being told to follow the rules, while uncertainty lingers over how long this will last and whether it will actually bring relief. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Police are making it clear the state of emergency is already in motion and enforcement is ramping up. At a press briefing this afternoon, Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado described the measure as targeted, saying it's designed to respond to what he called extraordinary circumstances. So far, 9 individuals have been detained under the SOE and transported to the Belize Central Prison. And this may be just the beginning. The commissioner warned that more detentions could follow if authorities deem it necessary.
Well, on Friday, May the 8th, 2026, after a careful security assessment and intelligence on the ground, a request was made for the state of emergency, which was subsequently declared for certain part of Belize City and certain part of rural Belize district. As a result of the state of emergency, a total of 9 individuals were transported a few minutes ago to the Kobe Foundation. I want to highlight that the decision was not made lightly for the state of emergency, but we believe that it was absolutely necessary based on the intelligence that we have gathered and on the ground assessment that had indicated an imminent danger to life and property. Hence, the recommendation was made and it was subsequently declared. Our operational plan continued to be in effect. We have made some adjustment to our operation plan or enhance our operational plan on the ground to improve the safety of the residents. But I can assure the law-abiding citizens that they have nothing to worry about in reference to the state of emergency, as the state of emergency is targeted and it's specific to certain individuals and it does not affect the law-abiding citizen in any way.
The state of emergency isn't simply a declaration. It also comes with a playbook, and police say they're following it closely. Statutory Instrument 50 lays out how the crackdown works, giving officers the framework to enforce the new measures on the ground. According to Deputy Commissioner of Police, Bar Jones, operations will be targeted and driven by intelligence. In fact, he says many of those already detained are not random picks. They're individuals linked to recent shootings and murders, as police zero in on those they believe are fueling the violence.
It is no different or substantially different from the other regulations that had accompanied previous state of emergency. But what we're going to see differently is that based on prior intelligence, persons will be detained and questioned and if the needs arise where for them to be detained beyond the normal questioning, then they would be detention orders would be issued in respect to them. So it is not a carte blanche, or will not be operated as a carte blanche wholesale detention of persons, but based on intelligence, based on interviews, based on current investigations. Many of the persons who are currently detained are not only in relation to gang offenses, but are also suspects in some of the recent and earlier this year shooting incidents and murders. So it is more targeted, more focused than we have done it before. The regulation sets out that, and it has always been the case that it sets out that persons gathering more than 3 persons in any of the declared area becomes an offense. However, then in the past and even now more, we'll be ensuring that is executed sparingly. If you have looked back on complaints, we have rarely had complaints in the past that had state of emergencies where some of these provisions were executed by the police. So it is again based on intelligence. People will say if the recent shootings are in Belize City, why do other areas of the Belize rural were included? And that is because based on our intelligence, there are operatives or persons within the Belize City area who from time to time visit or would then resort to these particular areas that are spelled out in the regulations.
While the state of emergency is back under the spotlight, so is the debate surrounding it. In the past, the Belize Police Department has faced sharp criticism over its use of SOEs to fight crime. So, why return to this controversial tool now? We put that question directly to Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado. And there's another concern gaining traction. Some argue that these measures push the boundaries of the Constitution. Assistant Superintendent Stacey Smith weighed in on that issue, defending the department's position. Here's what they had to say.
The state of emergency, or the activation of the state of emergency, is an extraordinary legal tool to combat extraordinary circumstances that traditional policing alone cannot neutralize. And I believe that it's an indication of strategic strength, proactive leadership, rather than sitting down and having business as usual. It shows that as a department, we are committed to doing whatever it takes to return normalcy to the streets.
The SOE is a creature of the Constitution, so the Constitution cannot be inconsistent with itself. We have had 3 judgments of recent that speaks to SOE. We had the first one, which clearly stated that the situation at hand was one that warranted the implementation of the SOE. The second one, whilst acknowledging that SOE can be called for certain situations, the court was not satisfied that the evidence that was brought before it was sufficient. And I think, and I'm right, Mr. Jones, in saying that in the most recent one, the court also again reaffirmed that when situation reaches a level whereby there is an immediate threat or danger, the calling of an SOE is something that is constitutional. So I wish to disabuse persons' mind that, SOE in itself is unconstitutional.
The state of emergency will remain in effect for a 30-day period and can be extended by the National Assembly if the need arises. After the break, shock and outrage as a teenager is charged with the fatal shooting of a mother of 3 inside a Belize City bar.
That our Belizean dollar doesn't go up and down like that, sir?
Because Belize chose stability by fixing its exchange rate to support how our economy works. And that choice didn't happen by accident. But to understand it, we have to go back to the beginning. So in 1894, Belize introduced its first official dollar and fixed this exchange rate 1-to-1 with the US dollar. We traded with America in both directions, exporting timber, chicle, and importing most of what we needed from the United States. A fixed exchange rate helped to keep price changes more predictable for both sides of the trade.
But how did Belize make sure the rate stayed fixed?
So that same year, a currency board was created to issue local money and protect a fixed exchange rate. Every dollar issued was fully supported by foreign currency. Stability wasn't optional or by chance. The institutions to protect the value were built into the system. For decades, we stayed tied to the US dollar because of our trade. But in 1939, World War II changed the rules. Britain required its colonies to hold their foreign reserves in British pounds. Belize still maintained its one-to-one US link for trade, but with reserves now in sterling, the system was exposed to changes in Britain's currency. That vulnerability showed itself in 1949 when Britain devalued the pound. Because our reserves were held in British pounds, that devaluation passed directly into our currency, meaning more local dollars were needed to buy $1 US.
So that's when Belize decided to act?
Yes, Belize made a deliberate choice on May 11, 1976, to anchor our dollar again to the US in a way that matched our trade and financial reality. Our monetary authority, now the Central Bank of Belize, took responsibility for maintaining that stability through disciplined oversight backed by strong US dollar reserves.
So our Belize dollar has stayed at 2 Belize to 1 US for 50 years?
Yes, and for a small country like Belize, that kind of stability makes everyday decisions easier for businesses and for families.
So it's not just about the money in my hand, it's about knowing that my credit union money or my savings at the bank will keep its value no matter what happens out there.
Exactly. The peg protects us, so Belize can plan, trade, and save with confidence, even when the rest of the world is shifting.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Our story was built by people, neighbors helping neighbors, standing side by side with those who trust us to protect what matters most and help build our communities. Being there when needed most. Across borders, across generations. Still growing, still giving, still just getting started. After 185 years.
Get ready, Dangriga! Something big is coming your way! Open your eyes, Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open your eyes, Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Prepare for the sweltering heat with a Rheem AC unit to keep you and your family cool and cozy. Get the recommended BTU for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save some much-needed cash with an inverter unit, which provides superior energy efficiency. When the heat is on, stay cool with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
A celebration meant to honor mothers turned into a scene of heartbreak in Orange Walk. Late Sunday night in Trial Farm, gunfire shattered the moment, leaving 22-year-old Roberto Wicab dead, just steps away from a community basketball court. Police say he was fixing a flat tire with his girlfriend when he was targeted. Another man was also injured in the attack. Now the community is mourning and searching for answers. Zenaida Lanza has more.
Just behind me is the basketball court where the Trial Farm Village Council was holding a Mother's Day function. That event wrapped up around 7:30 p.m. Roberto Wicab and his girlfriend walked to this empty lot where they noticed his car had a flat tire. They were attempting to fix that tire when two men drove up on a motorcycle. One opened fire.
Police are seeking two male persons in connection with a shooting incident that resulted in the murder of 22-year-old Roberto Wicab and the injury of Adrian Chook. On Monday, May 10th, when police in Trial Farm were alerted to the sounds of shots being fired in the vicinity of a basketball court on the northern side of that village. The officers responded and they were advised that Wicab and Chook were ferried to the hospital for medical attention.
That hospital was less than a 3-minute ride down the road. But even with the speed at which his loved ones moved him, Wicab was pronounced dead while receiving treatment at the hospital. Wicab's girlfriend, Rita Aldana, was standing a few steps from him when the shots rang out.
Pues eso fue muy rápido. Well, it happened very quickly. I didn't realize, I didn't see. In just a minute, everything happened. I only saw some young men, but I couldn't see their faces. It was fast. That's what happened.
What the investigation has so far revealed is that Wicab and a companion were fixing a vehicle in that location when they were accosted by a male person who fired several shots, and Mr. Chook was passing at that time and he too was injured.
Police are still working to establish a motive. Aldana says she had no knowledge of Wicab having any enemies. She says after losing her father, the two began attending church together, and that experience changed him.
Pues no fue un santo. Well, he wasn't a saint. He had his mistakes. But about 5 years ago, when I started living with him, his life changed completely. He became a responsible man. He took care of children that weren't even his. He behaved well. I can't speak badly of him. He tried to do good, and he was respected in the community.
Roberto Wicab was 22 years old. His death was one of 3 murders recorded across Belize over the Mother's Day weekend. Reporting for News 5, I am Zenaida Lanza.
A deadly attack in Belize City has left a family in mourning and police searching for answers tonight. 56-year-old caretaker Mark Longsworth was fatally stabbed in the early hours of this morning. Police say he collapsed at the corner of Mopan and Ebony Streets after suffering multiple wounds. Police have one person in custody as they work to determine what sparked the deadly attack. Now, loved ones, especially his estranged wife of more than 20 years, are left grappling with shock and heartbreak.
Officers who were on patrol on Ebony Street around 12:30 a.m. on 11th May reported that they observed an injured Mr. Longsworth at the corner of Ebony and Mopan Street. Mr. Longsworth was ferried to the hospital for medical attention. However, he succumbed to the injuries that he sustained. No motive has been established in this incident. However, as I stated, one male person has been detained, and the Crime Fusion Center has supplied some video footage that are being reviewed to see how they can assist with the investigation.
They called me this morning about, I think, like a little after 7. Yeah, a police officer who was my neighbor, who is my neighbor, a long-time neighbor. She ended up calling me and, tell me if I heard about Mr. Mark. So I tell her, no, what happened? And she told me that, that he passed, that he got stabbed up this morning, So I was like, what? And then I just paused for a while and, I left in shock because then, the Mark that I know me in 20 years we lived together. So, man, It's really overwhelming for me right now. It's heartbreaking for me right now.
And there was also a murder in the Stand Creek district where police are investigating a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a 29-year-old Salvadoran national in Pomona Village on Sunday night. Investigators say Jose Marvin Alvarado Ramos had just stepped outside his home when he was ambushed and killed. ASP Stacy Smith says investigators are still trying to determine a motive behind the brazen attack.
Police are investigating the murder of 29-year-old Jose Marvin Alvarado Ramos, which occurred on Sunday, 10th May 2026, just before 10 o'clock p.m. in Pomona Village, Stand Creek District. What we have learned so far in the course of this investigation is that Ramos had left from inside his room and went near a mango tree, and it is alleged that a male person came from out of an orange orchard that was located across the street and fired several shots in his direction, fatally wounding him before retreating back into the orange orchard. No motive has been established in this ongoing investigation.
Police say no suspects have been identified and the motive for the killing remains unclear. Police investigations into these 3 murders continue. A shocking act of violence involving a minor has now moved into the courts. Police have charged a 16-year-old boy with the murder of 34-year-old mother of 3, Salma Funes, who was gunned down inside a Belize City bar on May 7th. The teenager also faces 2 counts of attempted murder tied to that same incident. Investigators say the Lords Bank resident didn't just act. He came armed with a stolen weapon, allegedly taken from his father's employer. Here's more from Assistant Superintendent Stacy Smith.
In relation to the murder of Salma Raquel Funes and the attempted murder of Shayanta Williams and Cordova Neal, which occurred on Thursday, 7th May 2026, police have formally arrested and charged a 16-year-old Belizean caretaker of the Belize district for the crime of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. I believe what I was advised was that a damaged cell phone was recovered. And on the last occasion, I also shared that the firearm was recovered, and we have since been able to establish that the firearm is the property of a licensed gun holder and actually an individual who the child's father worked for, and it is believed that he gained access to that firearm by entering the room and somehow accessing the safe to enable him to remove the firearm. So additional charges in relation to the firearm offense are expected to also be brought against him.
Police investigation into this matter continues as additional charges are expected to be brought against the minor. Still ahead, mystery and damage in Independence Village as vandals strike again, smashing vehicles but leaving nothing behind. Who's responsible and why? But first, here's the weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service.
Set. I'll swap out the water inlet valve and everything is running normally.
Amazing. So what will be the cost?
Oh, for you? There's no cost.
No cost? I'm flattered, but I'm actually married.
Oh no, nothing like that. It's actually part of our 1-year warranty policy.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Don't worry, it happens all the time.
Really?
No.
Belize's only full-service GE USA dealer. Full service, full warranty, full selection. GE Appliances. Good things for life. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you never in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try to keep my coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open and close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool. For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You recharge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Over the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
Altona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
There's growing unease in Independence Village tonight after vandals struck again in the Malacate area, leaving behind a trail of damage and a lot of unanswered questions. Several vehicles were targeted, their windows smashed, but strangely, nothing was taken. That's fueling concern that this may be more than random mischief. Village leaders believe it could be connected to an earlier incident, pointing to a possible repeat offender. Police are now on the case, but for residents, the sense of security is already shaken.
I believe it's vandalism. I don't believe it's theft. I know that a month ago we had endured a similar situation with a vehicle in town where somebody threw a projectile into the back of a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. And so I would venture to say it's the same individual that maybe has a fetish for breaking glasses, no? But I think too that he knows who to target. I think he chooses his vehicles and probably has a chip on his shoulder and, you know, some sort of jealousy or something like that. That would be my opinion. From what I saw, I wasn't in town, but from what I saw, I could see clearly that he just broke the glasses. He didn't try to steal anything. The police are investigating. The minute the village council became aware of the video that started circulating, we alerted ASP Sherwin Wade of the Southern Formation in Independence, and he jumped on it immediately. And I think we to Norwegian Cruise Line because they have a camera that was spotting in the area as well. But I don't know. I know that it's left in the hands of the police and they are investigating. I know that there was a suspect that was identified from the previous incident. And I know that he's still a suspect because he frequents the Malakate area.
The vehicles reportedly belong to employees of a company who parked their vehicles at Malakate to attend a Mother's Day event on a nearby island. A political endorsement is stirring debate inside the PUP as Mayor Bernard Wagner's backing of his son-in-law steps into the spotlight. Wagner has made it clear he believes Deputy Mayor Eliud Miller is the right choice to carry the party's banner in the next municipal election. But that support hasn't gone unchallenged. Others within the party are rallying behind former Deputy Mayor Alan Pollard, setting the stage for a closely watched internal contest. But both men have proven themselves at the polls, and ultimately the party will decide who gets the nod. But for now, questions are swirling about loyalty, influence, and political succession. Today, we put those concerns directly to Mayor Wagner.
Me endorsing someone does not guarantee because the will of the people will prevail. But I, as a current mayor, who have been around the young man for some time now, see the qualities, right? See the work ethics, see the moral values.
Dedication.
Yes, the dedication. And it has been not a hand swollen spoon. No, it has been about working, preparing. Because when you prepare, you are able to meet the opportunity. And Eliud, in my view, as a young person, has all the qualities to be a great mayor for the city. I am a fair person, Paul, very fair. The two young men, actually Alan and myself started in 2018. Bright young man as well. But we continue to enjoy a sort of very professional relationship. He is the councillor responsible for work, so he carry out an extensive portfolio, one of the huge portfolio in the city, and clearly Eliud and him are two viable candidates. Again, I have my right to choose who I want, but the people will have their right to choose as well.
When asked whether he'd back an outright endorsement or push for a mayoral convention, Mayor Wagner sidestepped the choice, saying he'll leave that decision up to the party. The situation in Indian Creek has escalated and now nearby communities are on edge. Leaders from Golden Stream and San Marcos warn they could face the same fallout if the government doesn't step in. They're taking that message straight to Prime Minister John Briceño, calling out years of land disputes, stalled protections, and what they describe as ongoing injustice against Maya communities. Shane Williams has more.
In a show of unity, Maya leaders packed buses and traveled to Laguna Village on Friday, bringing their communities together to send a clear message. What's happening in Indian Creek is no longer just one village's problem. The unrest is rippling across the Toledo district, and leaders say it's a warning sign, one that shows just how quickly tensions can boil over when land disputes are left unresolved. Now they're speaking with one voice, hoping to stop the next crisis before it starts.
I believe this issue is getting worse for three reasons. Government keeps delaying the demarcation of the land we use. Government keeps delaying making a law that will protect our land. Instead, they want to make a law that will limit our land and our rights. We reject the proposal of 5 acres per parcel.
Carl also accuses authorities of siding with third-party interests whenever disputes arise on Maya communal lands.
When the third party do something like bulldozing and we report it, they don't come ready to help us. But the minute we begin to protect our land from encroachment, they are ready to stop us, sometimes use police to stop us.
Meanwhile, in nearby San Marcos, Chairman Alberto Muku says residents who had been farming and occupying their land since the early 1990s started losing them when bulldozers moved in.
An individual by the name of Papi Peña began bulldozing and clearing lands that the community members had been occupying. Some individuals were pressured to leave, offered financial compensation to vacate their lands, or in some cases, received nothing at all.
Muku is also accusing authorities of using divide and conquer tactics and political interference in the Maya land rights issue.
As the current village council chairman, I myself was handpicked by political influencer who hoped that I will keep my community divided on the issue of land rights. But as you can all see, I am here today doing the honorable thing and upholding the will of my people. Our population is growing and our children depend on these lands for their future.
In a direct message to Prime Minister John Briceño, Muku warns that the decisions government makes now will determine how Maya communities remember this administration on election day and for generations to come.
We are Belizeans, and yes, we are members and supporters of the People's United Party. History will remember your actions toward us today, and we will ensure that future generations remember them as well when we go to the polls. Makamata na mitash? When general election comes,
as tensions continue simmering in the south, Maya leaders say meaningful protections, clear land demarcation, and fair legislation are urgently needed before more communities find themselves at the center of conflict. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
Coming up, health officials are on alert after a deadly virus cluster at sea. The region isn't at risk yet, but they're watching closely.
Kayo, we have exciting news for you. RFNG Life Insurance is now officially in your town. Now, You can visit our office to pay your life insurance premiums or speak to our dedicated agent, Mayeli, about securing your future with the right coverage.
Hi, my name is Mayeli Hoy, your designated agent here at RFNG Life in the Cayo District. I'm here to help you explore your options, answer your questions, and find the perfect policy for you and your loved ones.
Whether you're looking for life insurance, critical illness coverage, or future saving plans, we've got you covered. Take the first step towards securing a stable and prosperous financial future for you and your family. RFNG Life Insurance, now in Cayo. Visit us today or call to schedule an appointment. Your future starts here.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progreso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
In Belize, change is taking shape every day. It all starts with game changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game changers are bringing this to life. Game changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the game changers.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. DigiWallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
The heat wave sweeping across Belize is hitting more than just the streets. It's now spilling into the classroom. At one Belize City primary school, soaring temperatures are making it harder for students to stay comfortable and focused. In response, administrators are stepping in, making changes to keep classrooms cool, students hydrated, and learning on track. But just how intense is the heat, and how are schools coping? Shane Williams has that story.
It's just before noon here at Belize Elementary School, and the sound of youthful exuberance travels far beyond the playground. You wouldn't know it from the burst of laughter and playful noise, but behind it all, the heat right now is scorching. Currently, the temperature is 90 degrees Fahrenheit, quite mild for this May. But with 66% humidity, it really feels closer to 100 degrees. The heat isn't letting up, and inside classrooms, both students and teachers are feeling the strain. Here, school administrators are taking practical steps to help children cope with the soaring temperatures.
The month of May is extremely hot, especially in May leading into June. And we did see children being affected by the heat in the classrooms. So we decided to change just for the last few weeks of school, allowing them to wear casual.
Instead of the usual button-up uniforms and heavy fabrics, students are allowed to attend classes in lighter, more comfortable clothing. The school is also encouraging constant hydration throughout the day.
We have water coolers all around school, so we want them to stay hydrated, which is really of utmost importance. So they're allowed to have their water bottles with them in class, and they can refill as many times during the day as they want to.
Teachers say the heat is taking a real toll, especially in the afternoons when classrooms get even hotter and focus starts to slip. But with a few quick adjustments, they're helping students stay calmer, more comfortable, and better able to pay attention.
The addition of the change in clothing, I think, really helps a lot. Yeah.
Have you seen any positive results?
Positive? Well, yes. Nobody's fainting from the heat. So yeah, the kids have responded well, and we don't see them as, logy, and they don't complain as much. I mean, it's still hot, but we don't have as many complaints.
As temperatures continue climbing this month, the Belize Elementary School hopes its flexible approach will help keep students safe, healthy, and ready to learn. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
Health officials are keeping a close watch on a developing situation at sea. But for now, they're urging calm across the Caribbean. The Caribbean Public Health Agency says the regional risk from Hantavirus remains low, even after a deadly cluster of cases linked to a cruise ship in the central Atlantic. The vessel, the MV Hondias, was carrying 147 passengers and crew from more than 20 countries when at least 8 infections, 3 confirmed and 5 suspected, were reported, along with 3 deaths. Investigators are still trying to pinpoint where the exposure happened, whether before passengers boarded in Argentina or during the voyage itself. Back in the region, CARFA says there's no sign of local spread. Still, officials aren't taking chances. Surveillance at ports of entry is being tightened as health teams continue to monitor the situation closely.
Based on the evidence available, the rodent species that maintains this virus in nature is not present in the Caribbean, and therefore there is no documented established local route of transmission in our region. This rare human-to-human transmission usually requires intimate or prolonged exposure, while the incubation period before symptoms appear is usually 1 to 6 weeks. There is no current antiviral treatment or vaccine. Care is supportive, including oxygen therapy and intensive monitoring. So CARFA advises our member states and the public to remain vigilant but not alarmed. CARFA's Caribbean tailored early warning surveillance and laboratory system mechanisms and network is actively monitoring the situation and can detect and respond when needed.
CARFA remains focused on providing proactive communication with its member states and the public to ensure accurate information sharing and to reduce misinformation. Up next, a brewing clash at the Michael Finnegan Market over who gets to sell and when.
In the heart of the Kaya district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA, so you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Insurance fact. Did you know with Home Protector Insurance, home and property insurance does not only cover hurricane and fire? Your lifetime investment will also be protected from explosions, water damage, malicious damage, and more. So you can rest easy knowing your home is protected. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
Tomorrow on Open Your Eyes at 6:30 a.m., we bring you another engaging and informative morning lineup. We begin with an important conversation on Hantavirus and lupus awareness with Dr. Hidalgo, followed by a spotlight on Belizean entrepreneurship and innovation with the Made in Belize Expo and BCCI. We'll also discuss motherhood, resilience, and building a Caribbean brand before celebrating 36 years of impact and community development with BNDC. Start your morning informed, inspired, and connected. Tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. only on Open Your Eyes.
A dispute over who gets to sell and when is putting pressure on vendors at the Michael Finnegan Market. Last week, retail vendors told us they're being squeezed out after City Council officers restricted them to Saturdays only. But today, market manager Delroy Herrera is pushing back, saying the rules aren't new. According to Herrera, the law is clear. Saturdays are set aside for retail vendors, while Tuesdays and Fridays are reserved for wholesalers. The situation now brings a deeper question into focus. Are the rules being enforced fairly, or are small vendors being pushed aside?
I think to get a full understanding of what is going on is that the retailers would come on the wholesale day, Tuesdays and Fridays, and then they will then tell the wholesalers, you cannot sell for $1 a pound, 50 cents a pound because you're on a sale me or whatever the case may be. And in that capacity, the retailers are on the wrong day. The retail day is designated for Saturdays. So on Saturdays, you buy from the wholesalers, however you get your product, you go out on a Saturday and then you can make your markup and whatever the case may be. So retailers coming in on a Tuesday and Friday telling the wholesalers they cannot sell for wholesale price in whatever quantity they're selling is not under their jurisdiction to tell them what to do and what not to do. So they should come on their day, and that's what we had based on the amount of complaints that we had with the wholesalers who are saying that they're having friction and so forth with the retailers because they want to designate their prices and so. We have decided to okay, let's look into it and let's go back to what we had in law. For the Tuesdays and the Fridays for the wholesale day, and then the retailers come out on Saturdays. So presently what I can say is that enforcement is looking at the situation and so forth. The laws are there. I believe that the wholesalers will be protected tomorrow, and moving forward the retailers as well will be protected on Saturdays and stuff, because we do have videos and so forth that we have the wholesalers who go in on Saturdays to sell on the retail day, vice versa.
We will continue following developments surrounding the dispute at the Michael Finnegan Market. Before we leave you though, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, government imposes sweeping crackdown after bloody violence. Leah Houston commented, the police department take measure by implementing a state of emergency, and that nonsense never works. For the crime to stop, the police need to target the root of the problem, not the branches, the root. And you'll see that crime will refuse drastically. Turning to Hantavirus outbreak at sea prompts monitoring across Caribbean ports. Emerson Valencia shared, sometimes people underestimate the power of nature. It is true that it's not like corona, but nevertheless, it is a virus and could mutate. Police need to start plan ahead of time, what they will do and not do should the unlikely event come to happen. It's better to be prepared and not needed than needed and not be prepared. Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.